Everybody good? Thank you. Okay. So welcome to tonight's Beth David Women's Program. This evening, we will witness the dissolution of the 2019 to 2021 Executive and Board and install the 2021 to 2023 Executive and Board. And as you will see, most of the positions are the same, only one change. But we take this as an opportunity to honor our wonderful volunteers. We will be entertained by Rhonda Cohen, stand-up comic. We will enjoy together the Yahad, being members of Beth David Women. Thank you to the committee for tonight's program, Noreen Kasman, Ruth Shapiro, and Tina Lection. Thank you to Cora Miller, Beth David's Programming and Communications Manager, for being our techie tonight. Noreen and Ruth brainstormed with me, while Tina guided us on our expenses. We wish, as in previous installations, we were having dinner with you in our synagogue. Next time, we hope. As Jewish women, at the start of our meetings, we read a Devar Torah. I read a Devar Torah written in 2013 by a woman of Reform Judaism Executive Committee member, Cynthia Ruth Wolf. It spoke to me. I adapted it to speak to Beth David Women. This adapted Devar Torah will be read tonight by Rose Haspel, proud mother of our president. Rose? Please unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we'll all be doing that, no problems.
On behalf of God, Moses invoked the whole Israelite community to come together, first to celebrate the Sabbath, and then to work together to build the first Mishkan, the tabernacle or temporary sanctuary in which the divine presence dwelled during the Jews' journey through the desert. Exodus 35. Verse 1. If ever a Torah portion demonstrated the power of women and sisterhood, it is when Moses told the people what God wanted for the tabernacle, and the women led the way to the way in securing the donations to make it happen. They gave their jewelry and their works of their hands. The women instinctively understood that the Mishkan would become a sacred holy space. How empowering it is to know that our matriarchs in Torah acted as models for women's groups from that time until now. So much was brought that Moses asked the people to cease bringing their gifts. In reality, Jewish giving had only just begun. We, the women, continue to share the gifts of our hearts and the gifts of our hands to benefit our congregations through our sisterhood leadership. Look at all we have known and done since the beginning of the tabernacle in the desert. When women collaborate and cooperate in creating activities for our members and perpetuating Judaism, we grow our individual sisterhoods. What would our synagogues be if it were not for our women who make so much happen, from the behind the scenes support to the large contributions, to say nothing of hours and hours of volunteer time? Very simply, we know that we are fulfilling our ancestral role, connecting ourselves to that first tabernacle. Rather than shying away from roles of leadership within our local sisterhoods, we step forward and say, Hineni, here am I. Biyachad, together we stand as we work together on behalf of our synagogues. Biyachad, together we stand as we work together on behalf of conservative Judaism. Biyachad, together. Leah and Rachel, sisters by birth. Beth David Women, sisters by choice. Let Rachel Leah and Rachel were stronger together, and the future of our people was stronger for it. So too, the women of Beth David, sisterhoods who are stronger, biyachad, we will make the future of conservative Judaism stronger as well. With God's help, all is possible. Amen.
Thank you, Rose. As members of Beth David Women, we're also members. We have somebody unmuted. As members of Beth David Women, we are also members of International Northeast Region of Women's League for Conservative Judaism. So we have some guests tonight. I am thrilled to introduce Debbie Goldich, President of Women's League, Zooming to us from Pennsylvania to share a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Doreen, and good evening. It's wonderful to be with friends. And I love that Devar Torah, and I want to say that some people think that the very first sisterhood was created when Miriam led the women in song and dance after they crossed the Red Sea. People say that Miriam was the first sisterhood president, and the women who danced with her were the first sisterhood. So think of it that way and be proud of our heritage. So good evening again. I want to thank my friend Doreen Bornfring for inviting me to join you tonight. Doreen and I know each other for a very long time. And through the magic of Zoom, I join my friends and all of you. I want to take this opportunity to say Kol HaKavod to Joan Lowenstein on a successful administration as region president, and to wish my friend Marilyn Cohen Mazal Tov on her installation as the next region president. I also want to send a shout out, as I did before, to Rabbi Becca Walker, who was my rabbinic intern as a Ziegler student. I've watched her career grow and I take great pride in her success, and you are very lucky to have her as your rabbi. So tonight, we join together, biyachad, to share our heritage as members of Women's League. We join together, and here we are to honor our outgoing leaders and install our new ones. We thank those members who have given their time and energy over the last few years, and we thank those who have stepped up to take new positions and agreed to serve in this administration. We are also here to celebrate and honor Ellen Haspel for a job well done and to wish her luck as she continues to lead this successful sisterhood. It has been a unique and challenging year for many of our sisterhoods, but tonight we have the opportunity to celebrate ourselves and to be together in a new way, the way of Zoom. Since 1918, when Matilda Schechter founded Women's League for Conservative Judaism, we have always found a way to survive unwelcome world events, and we will continue to do so by offering quality programming and opportunities for learning in our sisterhoods, in our regions, and on the international level. As members of this sisterhood, take advantage of all the programming in your sisterhood on the region level and also on the international level. You can find a list of all of our programs in the weekly newsletter called Women's League Week. And if you do not receive it, please put your name and email in the chat for me and I will subscribe you. Again, Mazel Tov on this special day and all you have accomplished as a sisterhood. I pray we are together in person, biyachad, in our sanctuaries next year on Women's League Shabbat. I look forward to coming to visit you. But until then, let's continue to join together biyachad to fulfill our mission of engaging, enriching, and empowering conservative Jewish women. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. We'll see you tomorrow at board meeting and at Makom B'Yahad. I look forward to it. So as Debbie mentioned, we have two guests tonight. Just going to introduce them. They can wave hello. Where am I? Joan Lowenstein, our outgoing region president. She was surprised when I invited her tonight. She said, I'm not president anymore. We said, but we still love you, Joe. We want you here. And Marilyn Cohen, our incoming region president. And we love you too, Marilyn. We're so glad that you've been installed as our region president. Zoom enables us to invite Joan from Rochester and Marilyn from Toronto, Beth David Synagogue. Thank you too for joining us. So this is our first ever installation program by Zoom. So I have asked Rabbi Walker to give a blessing that things proceed smoothly with no glitches, although we had one already at the beginning, but she wasn't on yet. And to say a few words. Rabbi Walker.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me on. And I know that some of you are going to be worried because maybe you hear my voice is a little lower than normal. I am okay. I'm not sick. It's just allergies. So let's get that out of the way. Thank you for your concern. So when Doreen asked me to recite a blessing over the Zoom, I thought of this phrase from the Torah. And this is a phrase used when we're talking about God taking the Israelite people out of Egypt. And it specifically says, Al Kanfei Nisharim, on eagle's wings. God says, I brought you out of Egypt on eagle's wings. And I thought, like, what a great phrase to think about the internet with, like, on eagle's wings. So I hope that our internet connections fly smoothly and strongly like they're on eagle's wings. I hope our Zoom transitions are strong and purposeful like they're on eagle's wings. And also, let's grant us all the grace that even if they're not, maybe they're more like, I don't know, parakeets or something, that we all still have the grace and that we're all still here together. And so hiccups are only temporary. And you're all doing a great job already. So there you go. And yeah, I was so excited when Doreen asked me to come and speak to all of you and say a few words about what Beth David Women, how great you all are. I mean, you didn't say that, but I'm saying that you all are great. Both for me on a personal level. I know when I first started serving Beth David, you were one of the first groups to really invite me in and invite me to your programs and ask me to teach. And I really, really felt welcomed by all of you. So on a personal note, I really appreciate that and appreciate your ongoing support that I feel from you. And that means a lot. One phrase that I thought of in thinking about sisterhood that I want to share is this idea, and we're going to say it. It's in Hallel, so we have the new month of Rosh Chodesh coming up at the end of this week, so we'll say it there. But this phrase, Even Masu Habonim Haita LaRosh Pinah. So the stone that at first was rejected by the builder became the cornerstone. And I thought of that because I think a lot of times, sometimes like women's contributions are pushed to the side or negated or saying that's not really a big deal. But actually it's a cornerstone, and what we do is essential. And I want to say, like, what you all do at Beth David, I hope you haven't felt like this stone that's been rejected, but I want to really lift up this idea that you are a cornerstone of Beth David, and your programs and the way you all support each other are such an important pillar of our shul and our community. And, I've been so impressed this past year how well you pivoted to online. I know you asked me to give a Zoom blessing, but I think that you've been doing so many amazing programs online and really did it from the start, whether that's your craft nights or the author series you have. You're always bringing in interesting speakers, and not to mention all of the different collections you do for tzedakah. There's so much you're doing that's so important to the community and really lifting each other up. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you again, both for all that you do, both for me personally, for our community, and also for the larger community of Women's League and also the larger Jewish community, and just really appreciate all that you do. And so excited to see where you take it next year with your new / similar board. And I all hope you feel a sense of renewal as you are renewed onto this board again. So thank you, and back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi. We're so happy that you could join us tonight. And Thank you. I felt I needed the blessing because this is the first time in over 10 years that I've chaired a meeting, and never mind on Zoom. So thank you very much. Now on to the reason for this program. We're going to start with the installation, and Ruth is going to do the, I guess it's the uninstall. I don't know what the right word is for it. And then I will be doing the install. So Ruth, take it away.
As I discharge the outgoing executive and board of directors, I think of all that you did to share and contribute to the ongoing development of Beth David Women. Will the outgoing 2019-2021 board of directors please smile as I call your name? Sybil Jackson, is she on? Lorraine Levine. Joyce Gordon. And Gail Goldberg Marcus. May your loyalty to the causes we represent never waver, and may you go from strength to strength. I discharge you with the appreciation for all that you have done on behalf of Beth David Women, and with the hope that you will continue to serve this cause for many years in the future. Thank you. Will the outgoing 2019-2021 officers of the executive please smile as I call your name? Margie Daly. Rose Haskell. Marion Tully. Anna Bloom. Tina Lexton.
You miss Noreen.
Oh, sorry, Noreen Kasman. Not in order, yeah. Doreen and me. I thank you. Is Doreen on?
Sorry, my computer mouse just froze. I'm trying to get you on, Doreen.
No problem. I don't need to be there. Go ahead, Ruth.
I thank you for all your efforts on behalf of Beth David Women, and I discharge you from the office knowing that you will continue to serve with the same dedication which you have shown in the past. Thank you. I call on the outgoing president, Ellen Haskell. For the past 2 years, you have guided our Beth David Women with care and devotion. Your dedication and commitment to our women is truly appreciated by the executive and board. Ellen, you have thrived in the position of president for the past 2 years. You were wary, you attended Leadership Institute, and you were still wary. Yet you have grown into this position and you have given our Beth David Women the breath of life. The phrase, the breath of life in Hebrew, Nishmat Chaim. Nishmat can also be translated as soul or spirit. The Hebrew word typically translated as spirit in English, ruach. That is what you, Ellen, and your officers and board members have brought to our Beth David Women. The officers, directors, and members of Beth David Women, thank you, Ellen, for the service you have given during this term of office. With heartfelt thanks, I discharge you from the office from 2019 to 2021 term.
Thank you, Ruth. Will the incoming 2021-2023 Board of Directors please smile as I call your name? Sybil Jackson, Joyce Gordon, Gail Goldberg Marcus, Lorraine Levine. As members of the Board of Directors, you pledge yourselves to accept responsibility for the policy and direction of Beth David Women, as well as for its successful operation. I install you in office and thank you for your continuing dedication to Beth David Women. Mazel tov to you all. Will the incoming 2021-2023 officers of the executive please smile as I call your name? Vice President Membership, Margie Daly. Vice President Education and Torah Fund, Rose Haspel.
Rose needs to start her video.
Okay. Co-Vice President Ways and Means, Marion Tully. Co-Vice President Ways and Means, Judy Silver. Vice President Tikkun Olam, Noreen Kasman. And another Noreen Kasman, Recording Secretary. Corresponding Secretary, Anna Bloom. Treasurer, Tina Lection. Nominations Chair, Ruth Shapiro, and myself as parliamentarian. As the new officers of the executive of Beth David Women are about to be installed, we think of the tree of life with its many branches. Each of you is a branch on the tree of the life of Beth David Women. Every one of you is valued for who you are and appreciated for your unique contributions to our group. Two are much better than one. 9 can uplift each other, and together the Yahad give new life to Beth David Women. Tonight, because of your choice, Beth David Women will continue to exist. Thank you for volunteering your service. You are charged with your individual responsibilities and now are installed to provide the necessary support and guidance to the president, ready to step in wherever needed. Your positions in service to Beth David Women will hopefully bring you much joy and blessings as you participate in the important task of upholding our mission statement to strengthen and unite the women of the synagogue and support them in their efforts to understand and perpetuate Judaism in the home, the synagogue, and the community at large, and to reinforce their bond with Israel and with Jews worldwide. Mazel tov to each and every one of you. Thank you to the past presidents who have agreed to remain on the board. I now call on the incoming president, Ellen Haspel.
Oh,
Not yet.
okay.
Okay. As we celebrate on this installation night, we pause to take into account the places we have journeyed. We have much in which to take pride, for our accomplishments are many. We have deep, strong roots, nourished over the years by strong and committed leadership. I think it started at Region Conference in 2018, Ellen, when you got a taste of the Ruach of Beth David women, beginning with your companions on the car journey to Rochester. You followed up by attending the Women's League Institute, Leadership Institute in 2019, even while on vacation in Florida. You agreed to take on the position of Beth David Women's President and attended the region conference held at Beth David, participating in the president's sessions. As president, you have attended Women's League Zoom convention in July 2020 and International Northeast Region Zoom conference this past April. Ellen, we in Beth David Women over the past few years have seen in you signs of leadership, a sense of caring, an inquisitive mind, and a growing commitment to the goals of Beth David Women. For the past 2 years, you have grown into the position as president. And whether in person or by Zoom, you have guided us and represented us to the best of your ability. With great humility, you have graciously agreed to serve as president for a further 2 years. The Torah Fund Pin campaign is B'Yahad, together. We in Beth David Women, on your executive and board, look forward in anticipation and with confidence to the journey we will take with you and to the new ideas and plans we will share to accomplish more together. I take much pride to install you as President of Beth David Women for 2021-2023. Mazel tov. Your turn.
Okay, should I speak now? I want to start off by saying to everybody, thank you all so much for coming this evening and joining us and honoring all the women. First, I'd like to share the story of my journey that brought me here. As Doreen said, seems that Margie Miller was giving a leadership training workshop in Florida, not far from my condo, at exactly the time I was going to be there. So the ladies thought that it would be a good idea that I attend, seeing as though I was going to be there anyways. I thought, great, I'll go. I'll bring back some good ideas that I can share with the group. And that would be nice. I could always learn something. Little did I know. See these ladies? They look very nice and harmless, don't they? Well, they're not. They're pretty devious, you see. Their plan was to send me to the workshop and then ask me to be president. Me? Why me? I don't know why they had so much confidence. I have no confidence in me, and I've never really held a leadership position. They promised to help, and help they did. They are the most dedicated, capable, and hardworking group of women that anyone would be proud to work with. Then COVID came. We managed to carry on with our meetings and programming with a lot of help from our office staff. I'm sure that every time Helene sees an email from me, she says to herself, oh no, not her again. Thank you to Helene and Cora for all your help, their help and patience. If there is a bright side, we were able to welcome presenters and guests from out of our neighborhood. We had some fun. I hope we learned something, and we kept up with our Tikkun Olam by giving hats and blankets and life's necessary products to various shelters. I hope in my next 2 years, we will once again be able to meet in person. So thank you to the executive and the board for all your hard work and help and support. B'Yachad, we are all together.
Okay. Just highlight Ellen again for a sec.
Thank you.
Something we usually do at installation is present flowers. So thanks to Tina's husband, Larry, they were delivered by limo as a surprise for you. Mazel tov.
Thank you. And they're beautiful. I'm sorry that you can't all see them as well as you should, but they are beautiful.
Enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to take a deep breath because I get to relax in a minute. Our comedy entertainment tonight is a woman with many hats. Even with a full-time job, she works as a stand-up comic and acts with local groups in the Chicago area. Her favorite time being part of the cast in the performance of Annie. A highly functioning member of Women's League, she has held every position in her sisterhood except for treasurer, and she said, don't ask, and has been sisterhood president 3 times. She has served as her region president for Central Great Lakes region, as well as other positions in the region. She has been a proud sisterhood member for nearly 40 years. She loves spending time with Dave, her husband of 47 years, as well as her parents, her children, and her grandchildren. In fact, while visiting her son and meeting her 1-year-old granddaughter for only the 2nd time, she is Zooming with us from Santa Clara, California. Thank God for Zoom, huh? Rhonda and I met here in Toronto at Women's League Leadership Institute in September 2005. Yeah, just a couple of years ago. She made a lasting impression on me then, and now I can say I knew her when. May I present, live from California, Rhonda Greenberg Cohen.
And I'm going to ask 2 things. First of all, I would not like to be spotlighted. I want to see everybody's faces. And everybody please unmute, because God willing, I will hear your laughter. So is that possible? I press a button and then I can get to gallery view. There you are. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Normally, I'd be doing this from my dining room in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Right now, I'm in my son and daughter-in-law's bedroom in Santa Clara, California. My daughter-in-law just made the bed. Okay, honestly, I'm doing so much new stuff. Debbie Goldrich is gonna know what hit her. All right, I still see muted people. I really want you all to unmute because I need to hear that laughter. Thank you, those who are unmuting. So I'm sorry I look so tired because I kind of forgot that I needed makeup on this trip. So this is me, and I'm on, a vacation at my son and daughter-in-law's house. You all have grandkids, I'm guessing many of you. I'm on vacation. Changing sheets, doing dishes, watching the kids, putting them to bed, feeding them. I am so tired. I need to go home and take a vacation. But we arrived late Saturday night, and what am I doing on Sunday? Picking up the 4 in Chicago so their mother can go on a retreat. Oh no. I'm so tired. I am exhausted. Oh, I gotta pay attention because I'm supposed to do 30 minutes, but if I go longer, well, you're getting your money's worth done, aren't you? Okay, so what shall I talk about? I'm just so freaking tired and I'm so sorry. First of all, this installation was lovely. Absolutely lovely. I missed my own sisterhood installation coming up. I'm so sorry. But it's not like I'm being outstalled again. Thank God. But I'll tell you, when I was region president, the worst installation I ever had to do was for a sisterhood. I'm sure you guys all heard of Skokie, Illinois. Well, there's a sisterhood in Skokie. The president of the sisterhood had died the night before installation.
Oh my.
It was
Oh my
not, it was
God.
not unexpected. Okay, it was totally expected. And when they called, told me it happened, I go, maybe we should postpone. No, it'd be okay. And I'm okay. So there I am. I have to outstall a dead lady
Oh.
and then install live people. And then I was the entertainment. That went so well. That was horrible. It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as the sisterhood show that I did many years ago. And the woman introducing me, and people go around, where do you get your material? Debbie, this is all for you because none of this I've ever done. Okay. Debbie's heard me a million times and none of this she has ever heard. So this sisterhood I was performing for, the woman who was introducing me, she and her husband had been in a horrible, horrible accident. And they both survived, but spent months in the hospital, separate hospitals. It was really, really bad. And this was her first time out of the hospital and out of the house. And she comes up to the microphone on crutches and in a neck brace and says, we're going to have comedy from Rhonda in just a minute. But first, I'm like, oh no. First, I just want to thank you all for everything you did for burying me while we were in the hospital. And it didn't just mean a lot for burying me, but it meant a lot for our children. Every woman is crying. And then she goes, and here's Rhonda for comedy. Oh, God. It didn't go well. It was bad. Drew, where do I get my stuff? All true stories. I don't have to make stuff up. So, who is it? Jackie. I think I paid attention. You talked about the email went to your spam for this. Somebody talked about the email going to spam for this installation. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, suddenly I'm not getting emails from my synagogue anymore. And this may shock you, but my synagogue emails are important to me. Now, I was getting them at my work address, and my husband was getting them, but I stopped getting them. And then I called and tried to figure it out. Long story short, they were being blocked by Microsoft because that's who we have. GoDaddy is our whatever we have. Anyway, and Microsoft is now checking everybody, and they decided that it was objectionable material. What? Rhonda Cohn would find Congregation Beth Judea objectionable? Well, I found Microsoft objectionable. I couldn't believe it. So my husband, he, took care of it. He really good at this. He's a tech support guy. But man, then it still didn't fix. And then finally they figured it out. And I looked at all the other stuff that was being blocked, stuff from my grandkids' Hebrew day school. I'm like, are these people anti-Semitic now? What's going on with Microsoft? I can't stand it. See, we're an Apple family. Who's got apples? Everybody who's got apples. I don't see it. Ruth, what's with the head shaking like you hate Apple? Why do you think I'm here? This is the reason my son is here, because he works when he got the job, he said he got a job at a little, what did he call it? A little fruit company in the valley. Apple.
A little fruit.
Little fruit company in the valley. So anyway, so he works for Apple. My daughter-in-law works for Apple. He's an engineer, she's an attorney, so she can keep him out of trouble. Ha ha ha. So, my husband's a tech support guy. He tells me never to tell this story, but it is too damn funny. Hopefully the door's closed. And I know I'm loud and they're right at the bottom of the stairs, but this is hysterical. So my husband's a tech support guy and he works out of the house, as many tech support guys do. And I'm not supposed to be in the room when he's on the phone. Can you guys understand this? It's very private when tech support people are on the phone. So he's got his headset. You can never say the word headset without doing this. You can't. And you can't say drive without doing this. And there's certain things you can't do. But he's got his headset on. I can't hear the conversation. But I had to be in the room because that's where our house computer was. And this was about 4 years ago. And I was looking for a job. And 62 years old, who wants to hire me? 4 years ago, but I got one, so I'm good. Anyway, so I'm on a computer next to his, and he's normally, there's no video involved, but once a week he's got a video conference with his boss, and he turns to me, he goes, I'm gonna be on a video conference, don't talk. And I went, okay. So I finished up at the computer, but now I want to leave the room, but my side is away from the door. So, and I really had to go to the bathroom. So I come up with a brilliant plan. I drop to the floor and I crawl out of the room. Unbeknownst to me, the camera on his computer was aimed down.
Down.
So all I see on my end is Dave going, oh, that's my wife. Because his boss is going, no, someone's crawling on the floor behind you. And I realized the jig was up, so I jump up. Not making this stuff up. True stuff's the best. Yay! Here's a cute one. So we went, Dave and I are watching our grandson because it's the week. Reason we're summoned to California is that it's the week between preschool and camp. So they asked if we could come out and help. So we're here and we're helping. So we took him to a petting zoo yesterday, and you could feed the animals. And the kid, he's 3, and the emu wasn't taking food. And Ben says, hey, emu, are you going to take this food? Yes or no? So funny. The kid cracks me up. So anyway, and feel free if anybody has any questions while I'm talking, just jump in. I'm happy to answer. I'm actually not paying, so I should be paying attention at the time. I've got my fancy schmancy Apple Watch. Anybody have an Apple Watch? Yay! Not Ruth. Yay! Thank you, Ellen. That's why we're leaders, man. We're leaders. 3 times. This is your second time? Oh, good.
Yep.
No, it's great. You get lovely parting gifts, don't you? I've got
Yes.
3 parting gifts. I love them all. All right. That's what made Reason become president. You want to know one of my main reasons the last time why I became president? Honest to God truth. Because I wanted to go to the Women's League convention for free. Debbie, I think you know that, but that is why I said, fine, I'll be president again.
And I missed
I
it,
heard
and I
that,
missed
Rhonda,
it.
that's why the second time and the third time you became president.
Did Debbie Green tell you that? She did she? Yes, she did. I knew it. Put them out. Okay. But it's a funny story, but it's true. I got to be president. I got to go for free. You know, but now who cares? It's going to be everybody come to Chicago. Come to Schaumburg, which is right near Chicago. Fly into O'Hare. Boom, you're there. I'll be there. We'll say hello. You know, we'll do girl screams. Ah! You know, girl screams. Anyway, I've got this fancy schmancy Apple Watch. It is so bossy. No, it's like at the 50 on the hour. Time to stand. Like, who are you? You know, I'm like, and then I gotta stand. You have to move for a minute. So I'm standing and I'm moving for a minute. And congratulations, you got another hour on your stand goal. It sets up 3 goals for you a day, and you get rewarded with closing your ring. So I've got my move ring. I've got it set to do so many calories a day. Exercise ring. I've got it set for 30 minutes a day. And the stand goal, I had no choice. You have to stand 12 times during the day when the thing thinks you're standing. So okay. Oh, it's 5:20 here. I've got to stand up shortly. What? Look at this. Siri's going. What can I help you with? She is such a bitch. Does anybody else think she's horrible? Sorry for that swear word, but she is. She hates me. True story. Again, all my stuff's true. You know, if you ask Siri a question, I'm working on it. I'm looking at it. Here's something you can look up yourself. No, Siri, just answer my question. Don't tell me where I can go. Don't offer me websites. Just answer my question. That's all I want. Answer my question. So, a couple years ago, I needed knee surgery, and my husband wanted to know how many minutes is it to Condell Hospital. And he said, hey, you know who, because otherwise she'll answer. Hey, you know who? How many minutes is it to Condell Hospital? You know what that bitch answered? It's 5 minutes to Buffalo Grove Animal Hospital. What? I said, where are you taking me? What am I having done? Oh my God, that's terrible. So anyway, how am I doing? How am I doing on time? Because I really, with the fancy schmidt, I'm doing fine because I'll just keep going because I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. Oh, my granddaughter's home. I hear the baby crying. She goes to daycare, even though, they're, oh, why is she crying? Why is that baby crying? Oh, no, I'm going to come up and have her cry up here. Well, you know what? There's 3 adults down there. They'll handle it. So maybe she's eating. Oh, she's so cute. But all our grandkids are cute, aren't they? Yeah. So anyway, I've got 4 in Chicago. My daughter is Orthodox, and the oldest 2 are twins, and they will be 12 later this month. But they're leaving for camp on their birthday, and girls are bat mitzvahed, when they're 12, when they're Orthodox. Let me describe this is something new, Debbie. You haven't heard this. What my granddaughter's bat mitzvah will be, because going to that fancy Jewish day school, it's a birthday party with a Devar Torah. That is basically what an Orthodox bat mitzvah is, and with a craft. Oh, look, we made a challah. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing for my granddaughter's bat mitzvah. I don't think it's that funny. It's just informative. So anyway, all right. So wait a minute. Seriously, how am I doing? I'm doing fine. I'll tell you, I'm a huge Cub fan. What are we up here? Oh yeah, you're my first international gig. Thanks. I'm now an international comedian. All right. So what's your favorite baseball team, you guys?
So
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
They're in Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
they
border's
can't come-
closed, so they can't come back home.
Blue Jays are playing
I'm a
Chicago
Cubs
tonight.
fan, and maybe you've heard, but we won the World Series in 2016.
Yeah,
That was
you're
awesome.
You're a big Cubs fan. I know that.
You hear this? Siri's like, okay, let me know if I can help with anything. Hey Siri, I didn't ask you anything.
Oh, you said World Series.
Yeah.
She says, I don't know what you mean by, hey Siri, I didn't ask you anything. Hey Siri, I think it was pretty obvious. I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help you with? No, be quiet. Jeez.
Well, we have the Raptors here. We won last year. Our basketball team.
Yay!
Years ago.
2 years ago.
The Bulls are
Blue
in the
Jay-
90s.
Well, the Blue Jays won 2 years in a row, 1992 and 1993.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
What else is new? So anyway, the Cubs, I'm a huge Cub. Matter of fact, I got out of my Cubs t-shirt to put on this schmanta. So here I am. So I will tell you, honest to God, again, true story, can't make stuff up. So that year, 2016, my husband, who developed a leaky mitral valve. There's nothing funny in that except for the story I'm about to tell. So he's okay. He's fine. Don't worry. But he had on a Thursday, he had something called, what did he have, Dave? Oh, nuclear stress test. Have you guys ever heard of a nuclear stress test?
Yeah.
Debbie, you've heard the story already.
I've had it.
Nuclear stress. For those of you who don't know what it is, they inject you with a radioactive dye. And then they put you on a treadmill and they check stuff. Anyway, the only thing he was told was to stay away from children for about 24 hours. That's all he was told. So anyway, that was a Thursday. The next day was the Cubs rally and parade. And I said, I want to go to the beginning of the route, which was by Wrigley Field. I didn't want to go to the end of the route where 1 million plus people, because it was a big deal, would be. You know how big of a deal it was? The day after the Cubs won the World Series, my sister-in-law and I went to the cemetery to tell our father-in-law, my husband's father and her husband's father, because they're brothers. She and I went to the cemetery to tell our father-in-law the good news. I have never seen a happier cemetery. Banners were flying everywhere. There were balloons. And two graves over was his uncle. My cousin had been there earlier. He left a Cubs hat. We left a rally towel on the grave. There were balloons and banners and everybody. I mean, the dead arose. It was amazing. People rolling over in their graves. It was so much fun at the cemetery that day. Everybody went to tell their dead relatives. So, and then if you're driving in Chicago and you're like, you know, you pass the gates of the cemetery, you look inside, Cubs balloons. I don't remember this happening in 2005 when the White Sox won, but it did happen when the Cubs won. So anyway, back to Dave. So that's how big of a deal it was. So again, 1 million people were going to be downtown. I didn't want to go there. So we went to Wrigley Field and we took the L and we went with Dave's cousins and we get off the train. And of course, it's very crowded. And I said, Dave says, wow, look at all the cops. And I went, no, it's shoulder to shoulder. Oh my God, you can't move. So anyway, we go down the escalator and cousins, me, and then Dave behind me. We get to the bottom of the escalator. We go out the door and we turn right and turn around and Dave is gone. Where's Dave? He was here a minute ago. Dave, where's Dave? I don't know. Maybe he turned left. So turn around and we go back and we see on the other side the rail is Dave at the bottom of the stairs, surrounded by Chicago cops. And I said to the cop on my side, I said, that's my husband. What's wrong? And he said, he registered a 9 on our detector. You know, our, oh my God, I just forgot the word. Debbie, you've heard this before. What's the word I'm looking for?
Radiograph.
No, that's not it. What, no, not radiograph. Oh my God, what is it?
Stress test.
No.
The
uranium.
Nuclear.
The Geiger counter. Geiger counter. I got to write that down so I never forget it again. All right. So the cop says to me, he registered a 9 on our Geiger counter. And I went, well, he had a nuclear stress test yesterday. Can I go to him? And he says, yes. So now I'm going to back you up 3 minutes. We get off the train. Wow, look at all the cops. Yeah, shoulder to shoulder. I feel so safe. Oh my God. I go down the stairs. A cop gets in line right behind Dave and says into his microphone, we got him. He gets to the bottom of the stairs. 3 of us go. Cops said, Dave, excuse me, sir, can you come with us? And Dave says, okay. So now they surround him and go, sir, have you been near any radioactivity lately? You registered a 9 or a Geiger counter. And Dave said, well, I had a nuclear stress test yesterday. Well, do you have any documentation? And Dave says, no. So now he calls his doctor. This is where he's on the phone calling his doctor to back up his story. And I'm thinking, what if, God forbid, that Dave really was the terrorist that they thought he was? And he's calling his buddy Ahmed. And Ahmed, they backed me up. I had nuclear stress test yesterday. But that's not what happened. So now I walk up to Dave and the cops, just as Dave's on the phone. And I said, excuse me, officers. He had a nuclear stress test yesterday. They look at me, they look at him, and they said, okay, you can go. And I'm worried. Only my husband, the skinny Jew from Buffalo Grove, gets stopped at the Cubs rally because he's radioactive. So time goes on, and I begin to think he got a 9. A 9 out of what? 100,000, a million?
Yeah.
About a year later, I'm in a restaurant and I see some Chicago cops and I go, I have a story to tell you. And then I said, he got a 9. And they said, yeah, 9 out of 10. I went, holy shit, I slept with that. Oh my God. He should have been glowing in the dark. Ah. All right, true story. So I think I finished with my half hour, but I've got a surprise for Debbie. It's a new joke I've never shared with anybody.
Okay.
How much time, Doreen? How much time do I still have? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Did I spend 30 minutes with you? Actually, I want you to get your money's worth. I did not.
We're good.
Wait.
Another 10,
How much time have I spent?
20 minutes.
No.
Really? 'Cause
I've
I
got
can keep going.
25, but
Oh, fine. All right, no problem. I've got some wonderful, wonderful jokes for you, which I will share with you. And I actually made a list because a lot of times I hear a joke. Oh yeah, I got to tell you. So this one is a very, very, very old joke. Debbie, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to wait for the end to hear
Okay.
the new one I've never shared with anybody. All right. So this young man is going to get married tomorrow. And this, and you'll hear how old of a joke it is in a moment. This young man is going to get married tomorrow. Today, he's packing for his honeymoon. And
Can't hear you. Wait a minute, someone's talking in the back.
okay, if you're talking, stop it. Thank you. All right, so this young man is getting married tomorrow, and he's walking around his apartment. He's packing, but he's doing it in the nude, and he slams the drawer shut. And got a little too much in the drawer. So after he stops screaming, he goes to the emergency room, and the doctor says, "We're going to have to put that in a splint." And he says, "Doc, a splint, but I'm getting married tomorrow." So how old the joke is. Ready? The doctor said, "No problem. Right before you consummate your marriage, take it off." So what he does is he takes a couple of splints and some gauze and wraps it around and sends the guy home. Anyway, the next day, the guy gets married. That night in the bridal suite, the bride is getting undressed, and she is making such a production out of this. She lowers her dress inch by inch. "Look, dear, this neck, unkissed by the male lips. Look, dear, these shoulders, uncaressed by the male hands." Drops her dress another inch. "Look, dear, these breasts, unseen by the male eyes. Everything was new, pure, sweet, virginal, never been touched." He was so disgusted, he drops his pants, points, and says, "Look, still in the original crate." It's not a Jewish joke, but just one that I'm reminded of, and I love this joke. Okay, here's one that's in really poor taste, but damn it, it is so funny. It's called the raffle. All right, so a synagogue is having a big raffle, and the day of the raffle arrives, and they pull the ticket, and third prize goes to Goldstein. Goldstein says, "That's great. What did I win?" They said, "A brand new shiny Cadillac." "Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you." So now they pull the ticket for second prize. Who gets it? Cohen. "That's great. What do I get?" They said, "A sponge cake baked by the Robinson." "What? Third prize is a Cadillac. Second prize is a sponge cake baked by the Robinson? Screw the Robinson. Child, that's first prize. With you people. All right. All right. The Briss and Moyle joke. Okay, this is one of my favorite Briss jokes. All right, so there's two men in the bathroom. This joke starts out bad, but it ends up real good, and I use my fingers so you can know who I'm talking about. Two men are in the bathroom at urinals, and the first one says to the second guy, "Excuse me, can I ask you a personal question?" And the second guy says, "Okay." And the first guy says, "Are you Jewish?" And the second guy says, "Yeah, why?" "Well, I'm converting to Judaism, and I have to tell you, the thing that scares me the most is a circumcision. Can you tell me, you remember yours? Did it hurt?" "Well, I gotta tell you, after mine, I didn't walk for a year."
Yeah.
What do you call an uncircumcised Jewish baby? A girl. All right, let's see. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones too. Moyle. All right, so there's a man walking down the street, and he sees in the window, he sees clocks in the window, and he goes, "Oh, clock shop. This is great. If my clock ever breaks, I'm going to bring it here to get it fixed." Well, the next day, wouldn't you know it, his clock breaks. And he brings it into the clock shop. He puts it on the counter, and the man behind the counter says, "What do you want me to do with this?" And the guy says, "I want you to fix it." And the guy behind the counter says, "Well, I don't fix clocks. I'm a Moyle." And the guy says, "You're a Moyle. Why do you have clocks in the window?" The Moyle says, "What do you want me to put in the window?" Okay. All right, another one of my favorite ones for a Moyle is a Moyle's hand was getting a little shaky. So he went to see his agent, his insurance agent. And he goes, I need a policy. And the agent says, "All right, let me get back to you." Agent calls him up. "I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I can get you $1 million worth of liability for $100 a year." The guy says, "What's the bad news?" "There's a 2-inch deductible." Okay, I'm going to tell you my new one. And it's so new, I haven't even memorized it yet. This is how new this joke is, but I'll read it with feeling. Okay, here we go. Moshe, the owner of a small kosher New York deli, was being questioned by an IRS agent about his tax return. He had reported a net profit of $80,000 for the year. Why don't people leave me alone? The deli owner said. I work like a dog. Everyone in my family helps out. The place is only closed for Jewish holidays and Shabbat. You want to know how I made $80,000? And the agent said, it's not your income that bothers us. It's these travel deductions. You listed 10 trips to Israel for you and your wife. The owner says, oh, that. Oh, we also deliver. And then so I said, a half an hour, and I did okay. Yay! You liked it? You really, really liked me? Oh, thank you. I needed this. I'm so tired and not made up. You know, here, I'll tell you one more thing. You know what I like about makeup and jewelry? Why I have so much of it? Because it doesn't matter what you weigh. It fits every time. Escalon and I are so like this.
It was quite funny.
Like, oh, look.
All kinds
I'm
of Jewish,
overweight, but
mostly
still
Jewish
thin.
jokes.
All right, I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you.
Okay, Wanda, it is my pleasure to thank you for a wonderful evening. I laughed, I cried a little.
What?
It was funny. Something I didn't think that this was what it was going to be this evening, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope everyone else did. So thank you once again for coming to help us with our installation celebration. And now it gives me great pleasure also to thank Cora for all her help that she does for Beth David Women with Zoom, our questions, our technical support. We have done a donation in your honor, and we really appreciate all your help. So thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming. I hope you had an enjoyable evening. And like I said, a couple of years, hopefully we'll do this in person. Have a good evening. Night.